Okay, on 8.2a lesson, the first couple of problems have to do with conducting a little survey with your classmates. So since I don't have classmates in here right now, we're going to skip those two questions. So basically, you would choose one of these questions and you would ask the response, you'd ask for a response from your classmates. And then you would tally up your responses here. And then you would either do a histogram or a dot plot to show a pictorial image of this data. So let's make sure that we understand what these three graphical representations are. Okay, so a histogram is a type of graph used to provide a visual display of the data in a frequency distribution. Okay, something like this up here would be kind of a table representation of your data. Okay, and frequency just means how many times are you seeing the answer come up. Okay, so don't be confused by these big words, frequency distribution. This would kind of be a picture of that. Okay, so the rest of this. They plot, this is about quantitative data. Quantitative means numerical data. Okay, the bars would touch each other, having no gaps. Because they represent intervals of, forgot the N, intervals, sorry guys, intervals of continuous numbers. Okay, so an example of that would look something like you've got this little coordinate plane here, and then you would have like different columns that touch each other. Okay, and these would be labeled as like the frequency that it occurs. Okay, and then down underneath would be like ages 20 to 25, ages 26 to 30. Okay, so it would be labeled as such. Okay, a bar graph. A bar graph is a type of graph used to provide a visual display of the data in a frequency distribution. So the same thing, I'm actually going to go in a different color because I ran over on histogram. So let me do this one in pink. Okay, so I'll start over here. A type of graph used to provide a visual representation of the data in a frequency distribution they plot categorical data. Data. Okay, categorical data would be something like if we're talking about pets, and our categories could be dogs, cats. Okay, so that would be categories of pets. Okay. All right. The bars don't touch each other. Okay, so for example, that would look something more like you'd have that separate bar and that separate bar, that separate bar. Okay, they wouldn't touch each other because you can't really have one of these lines that is kind of shared between them as a dog cat. Okay, up here, if it was like age ranges, that would be appropriate for this to kind of touch each other. But down here, if you had like birds, dogs, that wouldn't make any sense. They would need to be separate freestanding little categories. Okay. All right. Dot plot. I'm going to change to green on this one because, again, I wrote too far into that one. So this is shorter. This is a graphical display of numbers using dots. Okay, so this you could do the same kind of thing for both of these, but this time you've literally got like if you surveyed how many times you go out to lunch in a month. You would tally the results like this. Like if say that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Say that 2 people said, I go once, you would have 2 dots. Okay, say 3 people said, I go 4 times. 3 people said, I go 4 times. Okay, that's an example of that. Okay, and of course, these would need to have titles to them, whatever they're representing, and fully labeled. I just tried to give you a quick example of just kind of what it looks like at a glance, as a glance. Okay. All right, so next page, we've got a review of mean, median, and mode. I hope that you have this in your 5th or 6th grade class. Your mean is going to be the average of all the numbers in a data set. You add them all up and divide by how many there are. Okay, median. Let me again switch colors. I didn't go over so bad this time, but it'll just kind of separate it out a little bit. Median, I'll do in pink. The median arrange data from small to big and find we're going to call it a middle value. And then mode, change to green. mode, the value in a data set that occurs the most often. If no number in the list is repeated, then there is no mode. Okay, so those definitions are really the only things that we can do together in a video. We did not take any data on the front side on the first page, so we don't have anything to take the mean or the median of. Okay, so we will rely in class on some warm-ups and other activities to kind of practice those, to practice these vocabs. Okay, all right, thanks guys.